The ANC Youth League is functioning as a legal entity again after its liquidation was reversed. It had been liquidated back in 2017. I'm sure you remember. The mother body has appointed a national youth task team to revive the league and organize its conference. But the NYTT is also plagued by infighting. Govan Whittles spoke to the task team's convener, Nonceba Mhlauli.
The liquidation of the ANC Youth League has been rescinded, and the structure that's been appointed to revive it and take it to conference appears to be making significant headway. But there are still serious issues which could derail this process. Let's talk about these now with the convener of the National Youth Task Team, Nonceba Mhlauli. Thank you so much, Nonceba, for your time. Let's begin with the liquidation being rescinded. What happened and what does this mean for the Youth League?
So you would know that from previous leadership structures of the Youth League, there were certain debts that were incurred which were not paid. That led to those particular creditors deciding to take the Youth League to court to get their monies back. It's been a lengthy legal process. That process has now been concluded with those particular creditors having settled those debts, and now the liquidation order has been rescinded, which basically means that the Youth League can continue operating as a legal entity. As per its constitution, we can continue, doing everything as a legal entity, including having a national conference.
And having that conference requires money, and we know the financial position of the mother body is quite serious at this point and appears to be degrading. Does the Youth League have any money to work towards a conference? Where will you get that money?
Remember, part of the liquidation process also meant that we didn't have access to our bank accounts. And now that the legal status of the Youth League has been restored, we are now able to have access to our bank accounts. We'll be able to see what is in those bank accounts. But beyond anything else, we also trust the Youth League members' abilities to raise money for their organization and also to make donations. One of the proposals actually that we'll be making is to see if we can't have a mechanism of the Youth League members funding their own organization, so that we can get out of this quagmire of going to look for money, but also just the integrity of the organization itself. We are firm believers that young people ought to be able to fund their own organization.
The age of some of the National Youth Task Team members has been a divisive and hotly contested issue. More recently, those that were over the age of 35 have been removed from the National Youth Task Team. What's been the impact of this age debate in that task team?
We've always maintained that we do not appoint ourselves, and the ANC appointed us with a particular criteria that those who form part of the task team must be below the age of 35, and which is why even the verification process was something that was undertaken by the office of the DSG. We've now received the report that 6 people no longer form part of our structure, which now means that the NYTT constitutes of young people who are 28 in total, which would exclude the 6 who have now been asked to excuse themselves from the structure. But it's always been an ANC process, and we've accepted the outcomes of the ANC. The ANC has also told us that they will not be doing any replacements, and that is something that we've also noted in terms of our work going forward.
Thank you so much. That's the convener of the National Youth Task Team, Nonceba Mhlauli, speaking to us about the state of the ANC Youth League. And as the ANC itself prepares to go to the 2022 conference, what the Youth League does will become ever more important, as it could determine which candidates end up in senior positions. Govan Whittles, Pretoria.